My name is Benito Chin from Suriname, a private representative of the private sector, and in a carbon negative, part of a carbon negative country. For the context, a little bit of a background. Several governments already in the past years tried to develop a policy to decrease log export and facilitate the local processing. To support that initiative, the policy or the wish of the government, the private sector took it on him to collaboration with the forest authority in Suriname to write a policy paper for the forest and the wood sector, of course, with the aim to reduce log export. And we designed a strategy how to gain that in, let's say, on a short term. And we focused on the value chain. To make it more concrete, in the last 2 years, we approached the private sector and asked several companies if they were willing and in the position to invest in their processing on quality, on volume, etc., etc., etc. And 17 companies were okay with that, and they developed real business plans on several, of course, on several levels in the value chain. What is the impact if we proceed with this process? Of course, it will have a huge impact on export of logs, a huge impact on labor, a huge impact on the logistics, and of course the net value. The net value will be that next to the local processing, we will have a big impact on the carbon footprint of the country. In fact, we could improve the actual situation of around 300 million value of the sector to 600 million and more in 5 to 7 years, if we can decrease the export of logs and increase and improve the quality of local processing. The optimizing of the value chain. The value chain is, of course, the 70 business plans, and we located an industrial park on the right place in the country, and that has an additional investment needed too. And then, of course, as the two earlier presenters mentioned already, timber is a very useful product. And on the left side, of course, the function of the forest, carbon sequestration. On the left, the use of wood as a construction, a building material. And on the right side, the increase of value with the further you go in the value chain, between $200 and about $4,000. Indeed, it is an ideal material for a circular economy. The country policy is we repeated, but of course the steps underneath are we can all the phases, all the parts of the value chain. If we can improve those, it will give a very big. It will have a very big impact on, of course, the local processing efficiency, new products, etc. But also on the economy of the country, the environmental situation of the country, and at the end of the day, carbon credits. So the carbon credits can be improved by, let's say, efficiency can be improved to upgrade conventional logging to sustainable forest management. At this moment, we have only 40% using the sustainable forest management are certified, and 60% has to be improved and coming to the level of the minimum standards set by the government. Efficiency in the sawmills can be improved. Converting waste, processing the waste of in the back of the sawmills and in the back of the second processing factories can be let's say converted to new products, and the net gain will be approximately 2.4 million tons of carbon dioxide a year, in addition to the already negative carbon situation of the country. So it is, on all sides, it is a win-win situation. Then why an industrial park? An industrial park for the value chain of the timber sector would be a big step forward, because we will make use of the logistics, training, waste management, not only for the timber, for the product, but waste management as a general product of production. And of course, it is part of the sustainable development goals. Working together, promote, reduce poverty, sustainable production, etc., etc. Together with a fixed location and with facilities in the industrial park, already existing part in Suriname, with the existing port, with a good operator, we have a big impact on the capital, traffic, logistics. We avoid big trucks in town, and everything is settled 30 to 40 kilometers before reaching the capital, where at this point the majority of sawmills is located. So taking out production out of the capital would be a big improvement for the whole country. Why that location? And it's about 30-40 kilometers from in the south of the capital. It's, as mentioned earlier, it has a lot of advantages. But if you look at this part, from the east, where there's the 30% of the production is made, it is avoid everything. It is the best location. From the south, where about 20% is from the production is coming from, it will be on the best location. All the roads are coming together at this point, 30 to 40 kilometers from town. And from the west, where 50% of the production is taking place, this is the location where we are planning the industrial park. And then on this part, of course, there's a port already established in function. And if you look at the infrastructure to the neighborhood, in the region, it is obvious that we have the right connection and the right location to establish an industrial park. The key takeaways: the industrial park and the processing. Of course, there are numbers necessary to bring in practice. And that is the idea of the private sector, for the developed, of course, with international knowledge, with the experience of the last 5 years, driven by the wish of the government to reduce log export. At this point, we can, in this group of people, we think we can, we can present our case as to make the optimum use of the optimal use of the forest. And then, of course, thank you very much.